Welcome to Youth BiteSize. My name's Noah and today we're going to be exploring the question, does God care about our rest? When I was young, I had been lazy and having loads of time of rest was common for me. But this year I'll be doing an internship at KingsGate and working alongside it, so rest is a rarity. Working essentially 2 jobs has its toil. Lots of running around and finding it hard to wind down after work. It's very hard to switch off. I'm sure most of you are in different season to mine, with schools, exams, serving at church, hanging with friends, but you can relate to this constant busyness. The truth is, God cares about your rest in every season of your life. In Genesis, the first book of the Bible, it starts off by telling us the story of creation. So right here in the first book, rest is mentioned. In Genesis 2, right after God has finished his masterpiece of creation, it says, "On the 7th day, God had finished his work of creation, so he rested from all his work. And God blessed the 7th day and declared it holy, because it was the day when he rested from all his work of creation." Right at the start of creation, God is showing us rest. God worked for 6 days, then rested on the 7th. There are 4 principles in which we can use to learn how to properly rest and to help you on your journey. Number 1 is stop. God worked for 6 days creating our universe. On the 7th day, completely stopping any work. This idea isn't just seen here, but when God gave the Israelites the 10 Commandments. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to your Lord your God. Then later, therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. God told the Israelites to work, but of equal importance was this command to observe the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a Hebrew word meaning rest in English, but not many know the true meaning. It's a 24-hour period of time to stop working. God ceased all his work after creating the universe, and he commanded the Israelites to follow. This is just as important to God as any other commandments, such as do not murder, don't worship other gods. It seems strange to compare murder and rest on the same level of importance. However, to God it is. It wasn't just the Old Testament where the Sabbath existed. In Luke chapter 4:16, Jesus went to Nazareth where he'd been brought up, and on the Sabbath day he went to the synagogue, as was his custom. This was a normal part of Jesus' life, and if we're trying to live like Jesus, we should all be observing this too. This can be hard. You might have homework over the weekend or an exam to revise for. Everyone is different. Stopping is a challenge, but we need to stop on the Sabbath. Number 2 is rest. Another way to translate Sabbath is to rest. In Genesis 2:2, it says, he rested from all his work. God rested. Was it because he was tired, out of energy, or needed a nap? Well, we know this can't be true. Isaiah 40:28 says, "The Lord is an everlasting God, the creator of all the earth. He never grows weak or weary." God is all-powerful, never tiring, with unlimited energy. So if he didn't have to rest, but did anyway, then it was naturally a choice to rest. Rest is our choice. We have to choose to rest, as there are many external things that pull us away. For you, maybe school or homework. For me, it's work and emails. We are all so connected in this world now, there is no time to switch off and completely be alone. There are internal factors pull us away from rest, such as stress and anxiety. This is why we need to physically rest. This is sleeping longer, lounging about and having naps. Mentally rest. Switch off your phones, don't use social media, don't reply to any emails or do any homework. And emotional rest. It's a time for healing mentally from stressful pressures. Leave aside any difficult things or arguments for this time. Number 3 is delight. God blessed the 7th day. God blessed the Sabbath. To bless means to increase in peace and joy. The Sabbath is a day to increase in peace and joy, to be happy. Jesus spoke more into this when he was talking about the Sabbath. At the time of Jesus, some people had become so legalistic about the Sabbath that the Pharisees, the religious group of leaders in Israel, were angry at Jesus for healing on the Sabbath, or that the disciples picked grains of wheat on the Sabbath. Jesus said in response to the Pharisees, the Sabbath was made to meet the needs of the people and not to meet the requirements of the Sabbath. The Sabbath is for us, for healing. It's a gift. It's not a law, but it's life. Number 4, worship. In Genesis, it says, "Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy." The very first thing made holy was the day of Sabbath. Here at the foundations of the earth, there is a holy day. The Sabbath is not just a day off, it's a holy day. That's the difference. Jesus was often in the synagogue on the day of Sabbath. For many people, they do the same on a Sunday. They kick off the day in church. Others may worship on the day of Sabbath by reading the Bible, praying, or listening to some worship songs. Praising God is a key part of this, not because we have to, but because we want to. So stop, rest, delight, and worship. There is always a reason not to observe the Sabbath. You may think you're too young, have exams coming up, or school is too much. These are all real pressures. There's always something to do. I have the same problem with work and church. I always find excuses that I'm too busy to chill out or take a Sabbath. But the Lord commands it. It's for your best. It's to help you, and it's to help you grow closer to God. I want to set a challenge for us all, including myself, to take a day of Sabbath every week. But not because I've asked you, but because the Lord commands it.
Hey, thanks so much for watching KingsGate Youth here on YouTube. Make sure you like the video, maybe leave us a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. If you can't get enough KingsGate Youth, why not follow us on Instagram and TikTok at kingsgate.youth. We'll catch you in the comments.